Welcome to Ravings of a Lunatic with Kris Jobson, where we uncover truths hiding in plain sight, where we dive into our blind spot to reveal the obvious, and where illusions vanish when we dare to face our fear. During our time together today, I will introduce to you at certain points some dynamic affirmations that will help you set bold, empowering, and positive new intentions. While towards the end of today's episode, I invite you to join me as I guide you through a powerful declaration to strengthen these affirmations in your mind, your body, and your vibration. Welcome to episode 1, The Power of Change, Part 1, How to Use Change to Transform Your Life. First, ask yourself these questions. Do you embrace change or do you fear it? Is your relationship with change keeping you stuck or has it set you free? Now, I have 3 questions for you. Question 1, are you feeling stuck? Stuck in a chapter of your life that needs to come to an end? Stuck in a stage of life that feels like it's going nowhere? Question 2, are you being pushed? Is something pushing you out of the life that you're in right now? Is something trying to show you that the life that you have become so accustomed to must now shift in some way? And question 3, are you being pulled? Is something pulling you instead to do something else or to become someone else? Do any of these questions resonate with you? Because whether you're stuck or pushed or pulled, something is telling you it's time for a change. Time for an upgrade in your life. Time for you to graduate to your next level, and your life is trying to guide you there. It's trying to get your attention and get your input. This is where you will either embrace the change or resist it. This is one of many crossroads where you will either grow or where you will remain stuck. Which do you choose? Here is what change is all about. It is a powerful call to become more than you have ever been before. And when you are called to change, it is only because the stage you're in your life is no longer a place where you can become more. So you must move forward on your life journey. Change is calling you to a greater you. And to do that, sometimes it has to push you out of your comfort zone so you can reveal to yourself more of who you are. Change is an adventure. It's not asking you for your fear, even though it may be scary. It is not asking you for your confusion, even though it may be confusing. This adventure is asking for your courage to go towards a new you, a new life, and a new way of being that only you can do for you. But here's the truth. Change is inevitable. It's a natural part of life. It is a constant force that propels life forward every second of every day. Everything in the universe is subject to change, and it is going to get your attention in any and every way it can. Neither you nor I. No one can hold back the power of change. In some way or the other, it will take us with it or it will break us in the process. There is a price to pay when you resist change. The type of relationship you have with change will determine the quality of life that you live. What is your attitude towards change? Do you willingly co-create with it or do you fight with it? Fighting change creates unwanted pain and suffering. But yes, you can learn and grow from pain and suffering. But too often we choose to learn from pain and suffering. But you can also learn and grow from joy and elegance. You don't always have to suffer to learn. That is not the only tool we have to grow. Suffering is not the only teacher nor the only way. There is a more self-honoring and self-empowering way to learn and grow. Pain is overused while joy is underrated. We can grow from joy to joy and power to power. Yes, embracing change is the way to do that. Because change only comes to open you up to new possibilities and new opportunities. Change is how you become that person that you came to be in this life. How you grow into your best self and live up to your full potential. Once you realize that, you stop resisting change and start collaborating with it. Then the magic happens, inside of you and out. Change is a universal law. It must happen. The universe is teaching us how vital it is, and we must learn that lesson because we too are always changing. We have to give ourselves that space to change by being more flexible, being more attentive to what is changing and how, by being more conscious of how to dance with that change. And when you resist it, you miss out on the beauty of that dance. Because yes, that dance could be miserable or it could be beautiful. And your relationship with change will determine if growing into your best self will be elegant or if it will be miserable. Let change be a teacher for you. It teaches you how to be one with the life that you live. Growing into your best self could be a fun and powerful experience. It doesn't have to be a constant struggle, but the choice is yours. So, do you make the higher choice to embrace change, or does it have to drag you by the neck and force you to your next level? As children, we accepted and even embraced change without a problem. Come on, as kids, our teeth fell out. Then our bodies changed so very much during puberty. We changed schools and friends and maybe neighborhoods, and we did it like champions. We just accepted change as a natural part of our life, which it is. At what point did we stop accepting change? When did change become our enemy? Before, change was actually the thing that was moving us forward, helping us to learn and literally grow into more of who we were meant to be. When did learning and growing become such a scary thing for us that we have to fight against it at all costs? Does that mean that we no longer want to keep learning and growing to become better versions of ourselves? Look back on your life to find the point where resisting change became something that you thought was a good idea. As we got older, we started taking on attitudes and mindsets from society. We became programmed by society's limited ways of thinking and limited ways of believing about life and the world. It is time to become aware of that programming so you can reprogram yourself in the way that works best for you, to make sure you are seizing the opportunities to level up and not sabotaging those very opportunities that you have been asking for. Ask yourself these 6 questions. What exactly is this programming that I am living out in my life? Is it truly me? Does it represent me? Is it part of my joy and my truth? Is it part of who I can be? And is it part of who I want to become? This is how we question this programming so we can see it for what it is and choose to step out of it. Fighting change has brought you suffering and disappointment. It has held you back and it has not given you the life or experiences that you want. We must release this pattern and reprogram ourselves with what is empowering and healthy for us. We can align ourselves with our true goals and highest intentions. This is how we begin to truly know and understand ourselves. This is how we develop a deep relationship with all that we are. When you truly know yourself, then can you truly be yourself, your authentic self. To think the way you truly want to think, to say the things you know you want to say, to express yourself the way you choose consciously to express yourself. No longer feeding the old program, but releasing it more and more to free up space within you for the new you. Repeat this affirmation with me. Affirmation. I choose to explore more of who I am, to clearly see what habits, patterns, and mindsets I possess that do not represent who I truly want to be. I have the power to transform myself, and I do so now. End of affirmation. The point of change is for us to become better and better versions of ourselves with every moment that we live. This moment, and this moment. And this moment, every moment is a call for you to become more of who you can be. How do you navigate your life and keep growing and evolving in a meaningful way if you do not learn how to co-create with change? Change is calling you forward. When you have outgrown a certain experience, change comes to take you to a higher perspective. So you keep growing and evolving, spiraling upwards in your life. Change calls at first as a whisper, and those whispers come in many different ways and on all levels. You'll see that sign. You'll hear that thing. You'll feel that feeling. You'll get that dream. Whatever way your inner guidance can get through to you, it will present itself to you without a doubt. Change is calling you. Can you hear it? It is always calling. There is always a choice point in every moment to be more loving, more calm, more grounded, more firm, more present and aware, just more, always. Hear the whispers and see the signs of change knocking at your door. There are specific techniques that we can learn to better hear the whispers and see the signs of change. These are daily practices that can be done consistently to build this capacity within you. Recognizing the many signs and whispers in your life becomes your superpower. However, when you don't hear the whispers, they get louder and louder until they become a shout, until they become a tragedy or a trauma. When you resist change, you become stuck and rigid. Then you do not advance to your next level. Instead, you loop on the same level, going round and round in a circle, going nowhere new. Stuck in the same you, stuck in the same life as always. How many times have you thought to yourself, I have been here before in this loop, and it is not a good feeling. You feel like I am stuck in a loop and I can't get out. A mind loop, an experience loop, a relationship loop, a vicious loop that holds you hostage in a life that you yearn to be different. That is being stuck. And it sends an alarm to your mind that something is wrong, and that can be extremely uncomfortable. So when change calls, how elegantly, how quickly, and how easily you act on that calling will determine how well you move to your next level. Is your rapport with change preventing you from going to your next level? Or is your rapport with change supporting you going to your next level? Hey, embracing change does not mean that you can't be content with where you are right now. There's nothing wrong with looking at how far you've come and feeling the satisfaction of being right where you are. However, when the nudge to change does come, you must be willing and able to recognize it and meet it. Every stage serves a purpose. It could be a stage in your life that is beautiful, and you can feel that this is the place to be. And it is, for the duration of that cycle. You will learn and grow from it. It will serve you well. But there comes a point when you will have learned all that cycle has to offer. And that once beautiful place to be will become uncomfortable, chaotic, or just empty. Everyone is compelled to expand to the next level as we move along in life. We can't get stuck in one place, stuck in a mentality, or stuck in a situation, because that place, when it serves your growth, can be paradise. But when it stifles your growth, it becomes hell. Do not hold on to that hell. Accept it is time to let it go and move on. Too many of us hold on to things that are stifling our growth and our health. You have to recognize when this is happening to you. To recognize the place I'm living in no longer serves me. It no longer is a place I can live in. This comfort zone is not comfortable. And I don't call it the comfort zone. I call it the no growth zone. Maybe you've become comfortable in a no growth zone, but don't tell me you're in a comfort zone. You're comfortable in a no growth zone. Tell the truth. You have to be truthful about where you are so you can know how to get from where you are to where you really want to be. So let's be truthful. It's not a comfort zone. It's a comfortable no growth zone. That means you've given up your spark to grow and lost your spark to learn. How then do you keep moving towards your highest good in your life if you've given up your spark to grow and learn? That is exactly how you become stuck, unhappy, and unfulfilled, by denying yourself your highest good. Why would you want to deny yourself your highest good? Let me tell you why. You would do that because of feeling safe in doing what you've always done. You think you're safe in your comfort zone. But it's not merely safety, it's predictability. You feel safe in being able to predict, I know what this place is. I know what this thing is. I know what it requires of me. I know how much or how little I can get out of it. I know the pros. I know the cons. I know. And because you know so much about it is why you've outgrown it. Because you know so much about it, it no longer pushes you to know more about yourself. What you are right now is not the best of what you can be. You can't stop here. You've got more of you to bring forth. So it's not about safety. It's about being stuck in a mindset. We have to let go of this self-sabotaging mindset. And when I say we have to let it go, actually we don't. We don't have to do anything. But if we don't let it go, Life is going to show us what the consequences are of not letting it go. Here's an affirmation to help put us back on track. Affirmation. I am developing a new awareness to see and understand myself and my life. I am now willing and ready to let go of all that is not for my highest good. End of affirmation. This affirmation opens you up to see yourself in a new light, to acknowledge that you have greatness within you that you will not allow to be diminished. When change presents itself to you, go ahead and make the highest choice for yourself in that moment. But your highest choice cannot be driven by your fear or your resistance. Resistance prevents you from seeing any situation clearly and prevents you from even seeing the potential in that situation. Your highest choice can only be made free of fear and free of resistance, where you can be open and aware to assess the situation clearly. The call to change could be about the way you eat, to change the way you think, or the way you look at life. Could be one or all of these. But the call to change things on the outside of you is taking place only because there is a change happening on the inside of you that must be seen, must be felt, and accepted. So why are you being called to change your food? Why are you being called to change your home, your job, your friends, or whatever it is that you're being called to change? Because there's something in those things that is no longer for your highest good. It no longer is aligned with who you're becoming. Not necessarily because they have become bad. Maybe it's time to make a simple adjustment to them, like adding something to them, or just seeing them from a new perspective. It doesn't always have to be something huge. It could just be a minor shift. But you must be open to the truth of what that change must be, whether big or small. Be open and receptive to let your life inform you as to what shape that change should take. If the call to change is to move a mile, then say, okay, yes, how do I do it? If it says to move just 1 inch, then say, okay, yes, how do I do it? No judgment about the type of change, whether it's 1 mile, 1,000 miles, or 1 inch. When change calls, you go. Figure out as best as you can what that change is saying to you and honor that step. A big step, a small step, it does not matter. Answer the call and jump in for your own sake and also for the sake of humanity. For when each of us does this, we become a healthy contributor to all of society and humanity benefits. But know this, you do not have to manufacture a change. No, you are called to change. Open yourself up to be able to feel and recognize this call in you and around you whenever it comes. Repeat this affirmation with me. I am open and willing to recognize the call to change. I know this call is for my highest good, guiding me to a new and improved me. End of affirmation. Just by making the choice to say this affirmation, you are initiating a shift in your belief and attitude towards change. This choice is going to support you in making bolder and bolder steps towards embracing change. Listen to your inner guidance system. That's your intuition, your highest truth. It is always guiding you forward. It is always talking to you. Are you hearing it? Or is your ego in the way? Sometimes your ego blocks your messages or ignores them. If you have an ego that disregards the guidance from your higher self, then those inner messages will have to show up on the outside of you in people and situations that may have to force you to see something that you're not allowing yourself to see from the inside. But I tell you, those messages come as whispers from the inside in a loving, caring way at first. They only get louder and more vicious with you if you do not hear them. If you don't hear your messages on the inside, they have to come to you on the outside. That is how your life shows you what you're choosing. So change is calling you saying, hey, I'm calling you to your greatness. You want to come? Not only because life wants your greatness, but because life needs your greatness. Life, humanity, the universe needs your greatness. The universe needs your input, which is why you are alive now. If the universe didn't need you, you would not be here. The universe is powerful and intelligent, and we are all a part of it. It does not create things within itself that are useless and of no value to it. No, if you are here, it's because the universe knows your value. And it is saying to you, hey, I called you forth. I gave you a birth. I gave you a space and a chance to be here so you can demonstrate to yourself and share with the world who and what you are. And by doing that, you help me, the universe, to expand to my next level. So, please, bring your best self. The universe knows your value. Do you know your value? Change comes to take you to your next level, for you to show up and be the best you and contribute that you to this universe that we so love. Trust your inner guidance. It's coming from your higher self, and it knows your highest good and your perfect path. Every small shift you make prepares you and strengthens you for the rest of your journey to come. Each whisper to shift is just saying, hey, come here, try this, do this. Wouldn't this be exciting? Little whispers wanting only the best for you. If you embrace the change, then you can influence how that change unfolds in your life. That change needs your input. Your life wants to co-create with you. It wants to dance with you. Do you want to co-create with change or resist it instead? And when I say resist it, I mean you fear it, you avoid it, you refuse it. Well, that's all for this episode. But join me next week for part 2, where we will take a deeper look at these specific ways you resist change and the effects this has on your life. Shortly, I will take you through a powerful guided declaration where you can ground all of today's affirmations deep within your mind, your body, and your vibration. But first, let me share something with you. For every challenge and situation you face, for every trauma you've lived that has affected you in some way, there are methods and techniques to not only heal and overcome these difficulties, but to learn and grow from them, transforming yourself into better and better versions as you move through your life. These are specific methods and techniques that I have made available through the books and courses that I have created. I have written 4 books on mindfulness and self-worth that are available on Amazon. Each book guides you through a 60-day journey to self-development. In addition, I have a 21-day online course of video lessons, worksheets, meditations, affirmations, journaling, and much more that dives into developing self-love, building self-confidence, and positive boundaries. Both the books and the course use a method I have created that provides a deep dive into self to investigate what truly makes you tick and give you the insights, the knowledge, and discovery you need to transform yourself from the inside out. Just as there's a strategy and technique to play the piano, to be a lawyer, to be a doctor, there is a strategy and technique for you to be in your self-mastery, for you to understand and know yourself, so when issues arise, you are ready and equipped to handle them. You can find all this material at ravingsoflunatic.com. Now, please repeat this personal declaration with me. This is a mantra, a vow to yourself that allows you to step into your potential. Within this declaration, you will find the series of affirmations that we have done in this episode to allow you to absorb them deep in your mind, your body, and your vibration. I will repeat each affirmation 2 times. Be present. Be focused and alert as you repeat this declaration. Let's begin. My personal declaration. This is my quiet time with myself. My private safe space to open up and be completely honest, supportive, yet firm with myself. In this space, I will not judge myself. I will be my very own best friend. Here is where I cultivate positive new habits, where I build empowering new beliefs, and where I give myself permission to transform into the next best version of me. I know there may be moments where I may feel resistance to this journey, but I am willing to commit to this practice out of love and respect for myself. This is how I grow from joy to joy and from power to power. I am ready to be the best version of myself, and I give myself the opportunity to do so now by allowing the following affirmations to sink deep within my mind, my body, and my vibration. Affirmation number 1. I choose to explore more of who I am, to clearly see what habits, patterns, and mindsets I possess that do not represent who I truly want to be. I have the power to transform myself, and I do so now. End of affirmation. Now, once again, I choose to explore more of who I am, to clearly see what habits, patterns, and mindsets I possess that do not represent who I truly want to be. I have the power to transform myself, and I do so now. Affirmation number 2. I am developing a new awareness to see and understand myself and my life. I am now willing and ready to let go of all that is not for my highest good. End of affirmation. And again, I am developing a new awareness to see and understand myself and my life. I am now willing and ready to let go of all that is not for my highest good. And affirmation number 3. I am open and willing to recognize the call to change. I know this call is for my highest good, guiding me to a new and improved me. End of affirmation. And one more time. I am open and willing to recognize the call to change. I know this call to change is for my highest good, guiding me to a new and improved me. End of declaration. This podcast is created to help each of us to become an expert on ourselves and to become the person we know we can be. Here's a suggestion for how you can best utilize this podcast. You can use it as a practice, as your personal transformation practice. You can create a Ravings of a Lunatic journal of your own, where you write down the questions I ask you and allow yourself to answer them fully. This will be your journal for you to know more of who you are, to understand yourself on a deeper level, and to step into the next best version of you. You can also write down any quotes or parts of the episode that connect with you. I do this practice myself, and it has proven to serve me well. If this resonates with you, go ahead and give it a try. Thank you for joining me here today. Please join me next week, Thursday, for our next episode.